Refined, it's a tribute to terror.
Surrounding me right now are 56 wrapped deceased bodies.
Refined gets a chilling tour of the ghosts of horror movies past. We'll show you where Freddy, Jason, and other murderous movie villains are hanging out in Seattle. Then it's America's next top Halloween model.
Yes, keep going. Give me two more. Ooh, that one's good.
Find out how Refined staff members got transformed into ghouls just by saying cheese. Plus, can you keep a secret?
All right, let's get this party started.
Refined RSVPs for the latest trend in pop-up dining. Seattle Refined starts now. Hey everybody, welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. I don't know about you, but I love Halloween, and the countdown is on. Now, I don't like to be scared, but I do love the costumes and the candy, and especially seeing everyone get their homes all decked out. But as Refined's Malia Karlinski discovered, you don't have to break the bank to have a spectacularly spooky Halloween. She swung by her sponsor, Seattle Goodwill, for a lesson on some creepy crafts.
Spooky, creepy, and downright freaky. Goodwill is your Halloween headquarters for ghoulishly great ideas. What you've done here is terrifying and brilliant.
That's amazing. This is Zoe the zombie.
And it's so super creepy, like it's freaking me out. Disturbing dolls, bleeding candelabras, and mummified mason jars are just the beginning. Refined got up close and personal with DIY guy Gary Foy for some easy ways to transform everyday items into haunting decor for Halloween. There is some seriously scary stuff here.
Yeah.
And this is all from the Goodwill floor.
All from the Goodwill floor. You can get everything here. All I gotta do is a little sanding, some spray paint, and boom, it's Halloween.
And what's the first thing we're gonna make today?
Today we're gonna start with this haunted mirror.
Ooh,
This ghost
scary.
mirror.
Hey, this ghoul looks a lot like someone else I know.
It does. It's my Tuesday morning selfie. I want you to go serious, eyes left, eyes right, open mouth, head tilted, open mouth.
First up, Gary took some funny pics of me and cameraman John. Then he did a little photo editing to make sure the snaps look super natural. This is pretty much what I look like before coffee anyway, so I'm not sure how much of a stretch it is. Print them out, and you're good to go.
First thing you're gonna need, probably mirror, scraper, the infamous drill gun, some tape, because we want to keep it easy.
Just masking tape.
Masking tape,
Okay.
super simple. Sharpie, some scissors, and you're ready to scare. Flip this guy over, pull out the screws,
Comes right off. Awesome.
comes right off, boom. And then we've got the back of the mirror.
Right.
So what we're gonna wanna do is we gotta figure out where we need to scrape. So what we're gonna do is cut these out real quick.
Okay. Zombie Malia's pretty scary too.
I like Zombie Malia a lot. And then you want to figure out where you want to put it. So you can go angled, straight ahead, in the corner, and then grab your trusted pen, Sharpie of course.
Okay, so I'm tracing around Zombie Malia.
All right, pull that off, and you're gonna grab your scraper.
Okay.
Now, razor blade, gotta be careful, of course.
Make a horrible noise like, oh yeah.
Yeah, so you just, and don't go all the way down. This is the key, is you want to keep it light enough, because you want that kind of ghost effect.
So we scraped off a lot of the mirror from the back, but not everything, right?
Not everything. You want to leave a little on there, a little bit of the actual mirror, and then the backing gives it that haunting
Spooky
effect.
look,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And then now we're just gonna tape it in. I want to see yours. It's amazing. Do you want me to show you?
I don't know, is my skin gonna melt off if I
No,
look
this is
at it?
amazing. Look how good this came out.
I love it.
You make a good haunted mirror.
I make an excellent zombie, I have to
do.
say. What's Halloween without a good mask?
So we got some masks here at Goodwill, these cool blanks.
Okay.
I really like them. You got the kitty blank.
Yep.
They come in black and white there. We've got a bunch of different styles. This particular style is pretty cool. It's like that Italian, kind of when the plague was out, they used to dress these up. And you can pretty much add anything to it, whether it's spray paint, gems, feathers, goggles, you name it. So let's make some today.
Cool. Gary, you are going to town.
What do you think? Bertalope, yeah?
I think it's really scary. What do you think of my pretty kitty?
Super cute kitty.
Gary, how do you make those cool pumpkin containers for Halloween?
Malia, you start with spray paint.
Okay.
And then you grab these guys.
And I think everyone has these in their garage.
Yes.
Every kid in America's toted these at some point.
Yes.
Okay, and then what's this?
This is a candle pillar. Super simple, inexpensive on the floor. Grab this, and we're gonna pair it all together.
And then we're gonna spray paint it black.
Black, of course.
Okay. Then we just fill it with candy, right?
Yeah, just get the candy in there and you're good to go.
I can't believe how much candy it holds.
It
It's
holds,
like-
holds a ton.
And you could set these out for kids to come get candy, or you could leave it in-house, and then you could get candy.
Oh,
Malia Karlinski, way wigged out for Seattle Refined.
To watch that story again or see more of Malia's trash to treasure tips, log on to the website. Now, I mentioned I really don't like scary movies that much, but I know that a lot of you do, and Refined.com has some recommendations perfect for the season. Just search for the article, The 5 Most Terrifying Films on Netflix to watch this Halloween, and get ready to have the bejesus scared out of you. Everything from Children of the Corn to Jaws. We're not going to give away the whole list, so head to the site and search for Terrifying. Now, the scariest movie that I have ever seen has to be Tales from the Crypt. It totally gave me the willies, and it still does. Now, if you're a huge fan of horror films, a new exhibit at Mopop might just have you screaming for more.
Surrounding me right now are 56 wrapped deceased bodies that you have to kind of push your way through.
One step inside Mopop's latest exhibit, and you'll be transformed into a world filled with the most terrifying monsters in horror history. From a 7-foot Michael Myers mannequin to the flesh-eating creature from Jeepers Creepers, curator Jacob McMurray hopes it all leaves you feeling just a wee bit disturbed.
We really want people to have to squeeze through and push through the bodies, like, any number of scenes you see in a horror film where the character has to go through a meat locker or, things like that. So, trying to create some spaces where people can really feel a little tense and uncomfortable.
If it's vamps that get your pulse racing, sink your teeth into this unholy vampire chapel.
We wanted to have something that really gave the feeling of the vampire and that idea that the vampire is, sucking the lifeblood out of, the human race. So the outside of the chapel actually will be a continuous bleeding wall.
For all fans of the undead, step right into the zombie containment area.
Behind us we have some great severed heads from The Walking Dead from season 3. These were in the governor's fish tanks in his den, which is super creepy. As you come into the space, clearly this is some governmental facility that some event has happened. And, remnants of, clearly there are people here that a zombie attack has happened. And if you go into the space right next to us, an actual zombie attack is happening.
Whether you're a fan of horror or not, this exhibit is sure to scare you in the best possible way.
One of the exciting things that we were able to do with this exhibition is get a lot of cool pieces I was never able to access before. So there's a lot of great 80s horror related material, including Freddy's original sweater from the first Nightmare on Elm Street. We can sort of do things vicariously through, the evil things that happen in horror film that we couldn't do in real life.
Scared to Death is going on right now at Mopop, but a word of warning, it's not recommended for anyone under 13. One of the most anticipated sci-fi movie events of the fall is in theaters right now.
What do you want?
I want to ask you some questions.
Blade Runner 2049 is the long-awaited sequel to the 1982 Harrison Ford classic. The film stars Oscar nominees Ford and Ryan Gosling. It was #1 at last week's box office, but only pulled in $32 million. Clocking in at #2 was the plane crash survival thriller The Mountain Between Us, starring Kate Winslet and Idris Elba. It took in just a skosh over $10 million, but reviews on this one are really mixed. So, see it at your own risk.
We might die together, and I don't even know you.
Seattle Refined is just getting started. Welcome to Wine 101.
She knows how to drink wine or how to taste wine. I don't. I just drink it.
Not sure which wine to serve with dinner? You will now. But first, a new way to get to know your friends and neighbors better.
Nice people, everybody's in a good mood, perfect weather. You can't beat it.
You can stop looking for the latest pop-up dining experience. We found one that comes to you.
Eligible.
Welcome back to Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. Well, one of the fastest growing trends for foodies are pop-up dinners. It's where diners get to try unique and exciting dining experiences from hot chefs, and usually at your own home. Aaron Mayovsky was invited to a pop-up dinner in Seattle and got a taste of why this trend is so hot.
I twisted it a little bit.
Diego Felix is the guest chef tonight. Visiting from Argentina, he's whipping up something special from his family's roots. This pop-up dinner truly showcasing the art of his cuisine.
I'm really a privileged person to have this because what I do is I entertain people. That's what I like to do.
7 hungry couples are here tonight, eager to feast on a new experience.
We have heard of them, and when you get invited, like it's a thing. Like it's hard to find them, and when you do, you jump on them because they are super cool. It's always a very special experience.
As the guests sipped on their citrus welcome drink with herbs and fennel, along with empanada appetizers, Diego was busy in the garden hand-picking tonight's salad.
Really lucky to have these fresh ingredients because you can't get this in a restaurant. These are cilantro flowers. We're going to use it in a salad to pair with a white wine, so it's going to be very fresh, bright, and crisp.
You get together friends, people you know, people you don't know, and have this amazing experience around food, which is not all that uncommon, but that's really what food should be about. But then also having this perspective from a South American chef.
Wow, that tastes like, it kind of goes in smooth and then it's a pop.
So it's very subtle.
It's a great experience for people to come out in Seattle in our own neighborhood, meet new people, have great food, great wine, and really just see our own city from a different way.
We're ready to go. We're ready to start the party. We're going to come up and take a sip.
Once dinner was announced, the guests marched towards the surprise menu, a lineup of delicious eats.
Do you want to bite? All right, let's get this party started.
So enjoy, guys. Have fun.
The salad was new to everyone, and of course, Diego had the cilantro from the garden mixed in.
That's so good. That's delicious.
Diego was just getting warmed up. The main course featuring an Argentina favorite, asado de tira, another name for short ribs, smothered in beet sauce and green chimichurri.
Look at this, it's utterly amazing. It just falls apart.
With the food and wine flowing, this pop-up dinner was dynamite, and we weren't finished. Dessert featured dulce de leche with chocolate, dried strawberries, and whipped cream.
So good. I love it.
It's great fun. Yeah, especially when you get to go to somebody else's house.
On this night, everyone was stuffed with good food, better friends, and more culture.
Diego, this is what it's all about.
Yeah. This is all about family, food, and friends. Cheers.
Cheers and thank you.
For Seattle Refined, Aaron Mayovsky.
Look for a pop-up dinner near you because tons are in Seattle and many for charity. The website Eventbrite says people are so obsessed with pop-ups, these events are up 82% from last year. And there's something new popping up in Burien, too. Bakery Nouveau just opened up a new flagship location in Burien, and if the lines are any indication, it is a crowd pleaser. It is the iconic eatery's third Puget Sound location, but it's by far the largest. Besides serving up the usual pastries, cakes, and breads, you can also get a glimpse of Nouveau's chocolate production. You can see more on our website. Coming up on Seattle Refined, the secret to masterful wine pairings. Plus,
Go ahead, blow it out there, Jerry.
Okay, blow it out. 100. Yay!
a Northwest man reaches the century mark. His advice for all of us is still ahead.
Thank you.
Steve?
Welcome back to Seattle Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. I'm going to confess something right now, okay? And I don't want you to judge me. I like wine as much as the next guy, but you know what? I actually don't know a lot about it. For instance, what wines go best with what types of food? Well, that stuff is an absolute mystery to me. And that's where Washington Grown's Christy Goranson comes in.
I'm at the Carlisle Room in downtown Seattle. This is a Tom Douglas restaurant, and I'm with Erica Katuba, and she's a sommelier, and we get to talk all about wine and food pairings, and sometimes that can be a mystery for people. So what's good with cheese? Is there like an overall?
I really like white wines with cheeses. something cold, something maybe a little bit sweet.
Okay.
Floral notes to it will complement a whole variety of cheeses. Brie cheese tends to have really grassy notes to it. And when you taste it with Gewürztraminer, ooh, it really brightens up that earthy note.
She knows how to drink wine or how to taste wine. I don't. I just drink it. We're moving on to red wine.
I'm gonna pour for you first the Curlew Cellars Cab.
It is big.
Oh yeah,
Is
And
a
it makes
big one.
Let's give it a try, shall we?
Absolutely.
So a real deep, rich stew flavor. Okay.
So all the fattiness that's in this, the braised morels and all of the duck liver mousse binds to that tannin.
Okay.
And so instead of tasting how tannic the Cabernet is, you taste all of like the fruitier character.
You're right. So the tannin is gone.
Yeah.
When I eat the food with the wine.
So when you think about it, like the fattier the steak that you get,
Okay.
the bigger that you can go.
Bigger with the wine. Washington does it all.
Oh yeah. The food that's on this plate right here is foraged not 10 miles away from where these wines are grown, which is mind-blowing.
I know.
You know?
And that's why it tastes so good together. I mean, honestly, this is delicious.
Good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Look for more stories from our friends at Washington Grown every Wednesday here on Refined. We'll be right back, but first, this refined, shareable moment.
I had this chess.
Welcome back to Refined. You know, they say age is just a state of mind, and that's definitely the case for a Portland area man, where he's celebrating the big 100. And as you're about to find out, he gained a lot of wisdom over the last century.
I was 100 years old, the 11th.
And Jerry Bolden now is going strong. Jerry turned 100. His friends and co-workers are throwing him several parties.
Go ahead, blow it out there, Jerry.
Okay, blow it up, 100. Yay! Come on, Jerry.
Windy as I am, I can't even blow out one candle.
Jerry still works most days at this Portland area thrift store alongside ladies 30 years his junior.
I know he loves to work here, and he would be devastated if he couldn't be here with his girls.
What is it that keeps you going and keeps you just
coming down here? I'm too old to fight and too crippled up to run. So therefore, I just sit here on my and take the money.
He's a popular storyteller and keeps everyone laughing.
If your mind's in doubt, put your mouth in neutral. And that's me. I don't put my mouth in neutral.
Jerry's worked hard his entire life. First, he served in the military and then got a job at a paper mill.
And I went down and applied for a job on Thursday, went to work on Friday, and met my wife on Saturday. And I'm still here.
And with stories like this, we always feel the need to ask, what's your secret?
Work my fanny off. 10. And 10 is 20.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be 100, Jerry?
No different than it did when I was 50.
All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you so much for joining us here on Seattle Refined. We'll see you next time.